Welcome to the Association of Independent Maryland and DC Schools College Fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as the facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first announcement, your camera and microphone are off, so our presenters are unable to see or hear you. Second announcement, you can use the Q&A feature in Zoom to type your questions to our presenters at any point throughout our session today. Third announcement, this is just one of the few different sessions that we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this presentation is being recorded and you can access this recording by visiting scribescan.com/AIMS. With all of that said, I want to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter, Adam.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Adam. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm here to talk about Macalester College. So Macalester College is a highly selective small liberal arts college. Small liberal arts colleges are all over the country. We have a lot of things in common. Small class sizes, direct access to professors. The liberal arts means that you have a broad-based education. There's a lot of categories and characteristics that are true for a lot of us, and certainly that are true for Macalester, but I'm going to try and highlight some of the ways that we are different. The two main things that I think make Macalester unique, the first is our location, and the second is our mission. So when it comes to our location, we're actually unique as a highly selective small liberal arts college in that we are right in the middle of a major metropolitan area in the United States. So we are in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. You see there in front of you is our campus, kind of nestled between the two downtown areas. This means a lot of different things for our students. So professors love to connect what they're teaching to what's happening in the Twin Cities. Internships are a really big deal. 70% of our students do at least one internship by the time they graduate. And that's actually just during the school year. We also have summer internships that you can do back in your hometown or even abroad as part of a study abroad program. Civic engagement is really important to us. Over 90% of our students do some sort of volunteer work. It's kind of a chicken and the egg thing. It's core to our mission, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but it's also possible for so many of our students to be doing that volunteer work because of where we are. Beyond that, those are some of the more formalized ways in which we are connecting to the Twin Cities, but it's also a really, rich, diverse community on campus and off campus. The access to restaurants is a big deal. Pro sports, the arts is a really big deal as well, especially theater. So those are all things that really enhance your experience on campus. So it's kind of the best of both worlds in that we're a small community, but tucked into this larger metropolitan area. Our mission then is centered around four main values. Those are civic engagement, internationalism, multiculturalism, and academic excellence. So the civic engagement piece I kind of touched on already. It is central to who we are, but it is, again, we lean a lot on where we are to give students that opportunity. We have something called the Civic Engagement Center that sets students up with volunteer opportunities based on their interests. Internationalism is probably the thing that we're most well known for. We were the first college or university in the United States to fly the United Nations flag. We have 99 countries represented on our campus of just about 2,100 students, which is something we're really proud of. 23% of our students are citizens of another country. So what that means for students coming from outside of the US, that means they're going to have community here at Mac. For students from the US, it's a really amazing place that is already very discussion based. By having a lot of students in your classroom who are from outside of the US, very quickly the conversation turns away from being very US centric to being very globally minded. So you learn a lot in that way. The flip side to that is that study abroad is very popular. Not unique to us as a small liberal arts college, but what is special for us is we have just under 100 different programs to choose from. We are on 6 continents. You can guess that Antarctica is the one that we're not on. Something for every major, and financial aid actually stays the same for you whether or not you're studying abroad. Multiculturalism then is our commitment to not only diversity in every sense of that word, but also the inclusion of all students on campus, working towards a more equitable and just community on our campus itself. So I mentioned some of the international diversity. We have students coming from all 50 states, as well as DC, Puerto Rico, and other US territories. 2/3 of our students receive some sort of need-based financial aid, and then 37% of our US student population are students of color. So again, those are sort of numbers. We're constantly thinking about how can we be a more inclusive place, especially when it comes to racial diversity. We are a predominantly white institution, but again, we have a lot of initiatives in place to make sure that everybody has community within the small, tight-knit community of Macalester already. Then academic excellence is just that you will work hard at Mac in the classroom. It's the kind of place where you're going to talk about your classes with your friends outside of class. The way we make sure that you get that broad-based liberal arts education is through our general distribution requirements, which are on the right side of our screen there. It's meant to be very flexible, something that you're able to do sometimes without even needing to think about it. If you're somebody who wants to explore, is interested in taking a lot of classes, these requirements come pretty naturally. You don't have to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. So there is a lot of opportunity to try different classes. I'll highlight two on the left side. You'll note that our classes are very small for the most part. Our concentrations are what we call interdisciplinary majors, basically. So an example of that is community and global health, where you take classes in biology and chemistry, certainly, but something like political science and sociology and economics. It's an acknowledgement that these large world issues that we're all kind of grappling with in the concentrations aren't going to be dealt with by just one expert or one perspective. Then lastly, my time is coming to an end, but just wanted to leave you with this slide to give you an idea of what's possible to do outside of the classroom at Macalester. Our students are very involved and engaged, both in and outside of the classroom. So with that, I'm going to pause there, looking forward to your questions, and pass it on to the University of New Haven.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from the University of New Haven. And Danielle, you are on mute.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Danielle West. I'm an admissions counselor for the University of New Haven. So I'll be talking about our college today. So here we see a beautiful view of the Maxey Hall of University of New Haven. I'll talk a little bit about the location. So we are actually located in West Haven, Connecticut. We were founded on Yale University's campus in New Haven, so that's why we are the University of New Haven. However, in the 60s, they wanted to expand, so they moved right next door to West Haven. However, we're about a 10 to 15 minute drive from the city of New Haven. We're about a 5-minute drive to the shores of the Long Island Sound, which is very significant to marine biology and environmental science students. We also are very conveniently located between two major metropolitan cities, New York City and Boston. Now we do have shuttles that can actually take you to Grand Central Station, or to the stations that will take you to New York City or Boston by train. So if you have an internship set up in one of those places, it's really convenient. Or if you just want to get away for the weekend and go to a place that has a lot of art, culture, and good food, there's a lot of options there. And New Haven itself has a lot of, it's a smaller city, but it still has a lot of good options in terms of like art, culture, and food as well. And it's also a small college town with many other universities. So we are a smaller campus. We're a medium-sized school with about 5,000 undergraduate students. That allows us to keep our average class size down to about 20. That's an average, so there will be classes with more students and less students. However, it gives you a good chance to get to know your professors if you put that effort in, and it helps you get to know your fellow classmates as well, which is very important. We have over 100 academic programs to choose from, and we have about 35 graduate degree programs. And we also have what we call dual degree programs, so you can actually get your master's at an accelerated pace. So we are divided between, 5 different colleges and schools. So we have the College of Arts and Sciences that houses some of the most majors with a lot of the humanities, arts, and sciences. We have the Pompey College of Business. That's an accredited institution with majors such as finance, accounting, and business management, and esports. We have the Henry C. Lee College for Criminal Justice and Forensic Science. That is actually what University of New Haven is most famous for. I actually got to listen to Dr. Lee, the founder of the school, speak the other day. It was really interesting to hear. Our forensic science program is one of the first accredited and still is accredited forensic science program. It's very competitive. It's tough to get into, but it's a very rigorous, excellent program. We have the Tagliatelle College of Engineering, many ABET accredited engineering programs, as well as the NSA recognizes our cybersecurity program, which focuses on operations. So that's one to really look out for. And then we have the School of Health Sciences, and that houses some of our programs like paramedicine, dental hygiene, medical laboratory sciences. So there's a lot of different things to get into now. Of course, you can come in undeclared as well, and you'll see where life might take you. So we do have a study abroad program. We do have a satellite campus in Prato, Italy. And if you don't want to go to Italy, though, we do have other programs, over 100. We have ones that range from 2 weeks long to 1 whole year. So there's a lot of great opportunity, and we focus on that experiential learning and that global experience with the study abroad. So student life, there's 150 clubs and organizations that we have. When I went to college, I really wish that I invested more in myself and got involved on campus. And at the University of New Haven, there's plenty of ways to do that. We have ROTC, we have marching band, sports, we have a theater club. Within the clubs and organizations, we have some that are academic, cultural, as well as just recreational. For example, there's a Star Wars knitting club, and there's a paranormal investigation team. So there's a lot to do on campus, a lot of great ways to meet new people and make friends. So athletics, we are NCAA Division II with our varsity sports. Now, we offer a lot of varsity sports. However, if you don't want to compete at the varsity level, but you still want to do sports, we do offer club sports as well, where you can still compete, but it's not quite as rigorous as the varsity sport. All right, so we'll talk a little bit about the application process. That's Charlie the Charger. He's our, kind of our school logo. So these, of course, all will change the dates, but this is kind of a good idea. There is early decision. I don't necessarily recommend that because that's a binding contract unless you're over 1,000% sure University of New Haven's the only school you ever want to go to. I do recommend early action, especially with some of our competitive programs like forensic science and dental hygiene. Now, I'm an admissions counselor, so I read applications. As soon as you get your application in, just turn it in, and we usually review it within a couple of weeks. So even though we have these deadlines, just get in that application and we'll review it. We do require at least one letter of recommendation from an academic source. You can't submit more. We do require an official high school transcript. Right now, our SATs are optional, but you can't submit them if you'd like. If they're not going to help your application, we just disregard them. I don't know how long it'll stay that way, but we are optional. And we don't require the essay, but I do recommend it. We do have a $50 application fee, and we're all on Common App. We do offer merit-based scholarships. As soon as you apply, you're automatically considered. They range from $10,000 to $28,000, and we have additional scholarships as well, like marching band and like the Pompey scholarship. And we also, have transfer students. So if you're a transfer student, there's the Phi Theta Kappa scholarship as well. So thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing other people and getting your questions later.
Thank you, Danielle. Our next presenter is from Xavier University.
Hello, my name is Erin Melody, and I am Xavier's Regional Recruitment Director in the Mid-Atlantic. I reside in Baltimore County, and I work specifically with students from the Mid-Atlantic, and am thrilled to be with you tonight. Thank you so much. Xavier is a Jesuit Catholic university located in Cincinnati, which is in the southwest corner of Ohio. Our 190-acre park-like campus is located within the city limits. It's approximately a 10-minute drive from the Ohio River waterfront, or otherwise known as downtown Cincinnati. Oops, sorry, jumped too soon on that one. I always like to say that Xavier is the best of both worlds in your college search. It's a medium-sized school, about 5,000 full-time undergraduates, with a small school feel in the classroom, a 12-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, an average class size of 21. But you have great big school opportunities thanks to our location in a major metropolitan area. The Cincinnati metro area is home to just over 2 million people and is consistently ranked as a top city for college grads by Smart Asset. Thus, our students have a wonderful opportunity to use the city as an extension of our campus academically, socially, culturally, and professionally. How do we achieve this success? Well, that is through every student having their own success team at Xavier, a team of coaches who are there to be your support network, to assist you in making the transition to college life, to guide you to or within your major, to connect you with mentors, research opportunities and internships, and to keep you on track to successfully graduate within 4 years and move on to the next phase of your life. The Xavier family is a true community. As our mascot, D'Artagnan, the Musketeer, would say, all for one and one for all. We are a residential campus with housing required and guaranteed for the first 2 years. 90% of our students live on campus or within a 5-block radius of campus. Students can have cars on campus all 4 years, but if you don't, ample opportunity for public transportation, Uber, Lyft, all sorts of ways to get around. Again, a very navigable city, Cincinnati. I'm often asked, what is a typical average Xavier student? And I always like to say, our Musketeers are engaged students. Our students are involved in a variety of activities, including study abroad, more than 70 locations around the globe, community service, locally, nationally, and internationally. And they participate in some of our 170 different clubs and organizations, ranging from social and cultural groups to interest and hobby groups to intramural, club, and esports. To put another check in that big school feel column, Xavier is a proud member of the Big East Conference, hosting 17 NCAA Division I varsity sports, including our newest edition, women's lacrosse. In the middle of campus, you will find the Cintas Center, home of Xavier basketball, where student tickets are free, and our extreme fans camp out for the best seats at the big games. You will find Xavier on the Common App. We have no application fee and no supplemental essays. We are a rolling decision school with a priority deadline of December 1. You will receive your admission and initial scholarship usually within 4 to 6 weeks of your application being complete. If you're applying for need-based aid, we require only the FAFSA, and our middle 50% on GPA is weighted at a 3.2 to a 3.9. The most important thing, though, for you to remember, we are a test optional school. I encourage you to explore campus further. We are open in person to visitors daily and a lot of weekends between now and early May when our students head home for the summer. And then we are open for summer visitors as well. I invite you to check out our virtual offerings on our Making a Musketeer page, which was back on that first slide. It is designed especially to aid students in their college search and application process. If you have any questions after this evening, please be in touch. I look forward to working with you over your college search process. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Birmingham-Southern College.
Hello, everybody. Let me share my screen really quick. All right. So hello, my name's Emily. I am an admission counselor at Birmingham-Southern College. There you go. So these are some pictures from around campus. We are located about 5 minutes from downtown Birmingham, right in the heart of Alabama. So just to hit you with some numbers really quick, we are one of the 40 colleges that changed lives. So Lauren Pope was a New York Times editor who went across the country, and he found 40 colleges he deemed life-changing. And we were one of those. He said it was due to our transformational experience we provide for our students here on campus. Their personalized professor relationships, and the ability to get that one-on-one time and the experience here on campus. As for our student body, we have about 1,200 students total, so we are a smaller school. Of those 1,200 students, about 82% choose to live on campus all 4 years. We like to talk about our student-to-faculty ratio. We have a 12-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio and an average class size of 16. So you're really getting to know who you're studying with. You're also getting that time with your professors, able to talk to them one-on-one, meet with them outside of class. They're here to help you succeed. You really get to know them, and they are really big advocates here on campus for you. We do have over 50 areas of study with majors, minors, distinctions, and pre-professional tracks. And then as far as what to do on campus, we have 22 NCAA Division III varsity athletic teams. All but 2 practice and play right here on campus. And those are really well attended. It's a small school. You know people on those sports teams. You want to go support your friends. So it's a great atmosphere. And they're also always free, which is great for a college student. We also have over 80 college organizations on campus. So there's always stuff to do and keep you occupied while you're here. We are a residential campus, so you're required to live here for at least 3 years, but there's stuff always happening between those organizations and those sports teams. While you're here, all students complete a capstone project, which you get to choose the topic, work alongside one of your professors, and kind of culminate all of what you've learned into one project that you're passionate about before you leave. Something that we think is really important at Birmingham Southern is the opportunity to explore, and it's actually built into our curriculum. One way to do this is through our e-term. So you take 1 class during the month of January during your explorations term, e-term for short. You have to take at least 2 while you're here. A lot of students choose to take more. It's a really fun opportunity to study outside of your major. Professors are teaching classes they're passionate about while they're here. There's art of stand-up comedy, Southern cooking class, history of Birmingham. It's just a great opportunity to get out of your comfort zone and take something new. We do have the traditional study abroad options with 9 different partner institutions for summer, semester, and year-long options, but you can also study abroad during that month-long e-term as well. While you're here on campus, we love to encourage our students to get involved with our Birmingham community, with 88% of our students engaging in some form of community service while they're here, getting connected to the people who fund us and surround us. And while you're here, you're also guaranteed an internship. So you're guaranteed to get that experience to set you apart when you're going to your next big thing, either grad school or whatever job you have lined up after graduation. We have the resources here to get you connected and plugged in where you want to go. Something that I think is really cool is we are located less than 10 minutes from downtown Birmingham, and also with our study abroad options and just the ability here in Birmingham to get you connected and actually see what you're learning in the classroom applied to real life experiences. And that's something that I think is really awesome to have and kind of sets into perspective, hey, I'm learning this and it's going to be important in the future. So that's something that we like to talk about, as well as our ability to get you out there in the real world using that information as soon as possible. As for ways to apply, we have 2 different applications. So we have the standard application with the ACT, SAT scores. We also have been test optional since 2016. It's not something new with the pandemic. We understand that standardized testing is not necessarily the best gauge for academic ability for all students. We ask for an essay instead of those test scores. You see some recommended but not required things as well. We just like to do a holistic review and get to know you through the application process. We are a strong community here, and we like to start getting to know you as soon as that application process begins. As for financial aid and scholarship, this is some fast facts about us. 100% of our students receive merit-based scholarship. Your application for admission is also your application for these scholarships, up to $11,000, test optional or standard. We do offer special scholarships that come from Birmingham Southern as well. These have different requirements and different applications. All can be found on our website. And that deadline is always February 1st. So you can go ahead and put that down. We do accept the FAFSA to do financial aid and put together a package for you through that federal government information as well. Here is our total cost for the next 2022-2023 school year. This includes absolutely everything. There is no hidden fee to be found. This also includes your textbooks. That's something new that we've done this year. You don't have to worry about going out of your way and finding those. Our bookstore has them for you here on campus as soon as move-in day. So all you have to do is go and pick them up and head back to your dorm and get ready to get settled in. We do understand it is a big investment, so we like to talk about the investment we put in you. We are one of the top 10 schools that lead to graduate school. About 80% of our student body goes to graduate school within a year of graduating from Birmingham Southern. We're in the top 20 best value schools in the United States. Our grads who go on to make a salary make a third higher than the national average. A little bit more money is never a bad thing, and we're one of the top 100 colleges for return on investment. I actually graduated from BC, and as an alum, I think that comes from your ability to personalize your education at a small liberal arts school, getting to know those professors, having that support system here on campus, and the ability to plug in as early as your freshman year with those student organizations and leadership opportunities. And that is kind of what I have for you guys today. It was so great getting to talk to you, and I can't wait to hear from the rest of the schools.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Gettysburg College.
Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to see you this evening. As a former resident of DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and currently one of the Maryland representatives here at Gettysburg, I am really pleased to speak with you this evening. I wanted to share with you some information about Gettysburg, and I hope that will entice you to come visit us later this year. Gettysburg is a highly selective National College of the Liberal Arts and Sciences, and we have 2,600 students located here. Our unique location is nearby to you all. So we are about an hour from Baltimore and an hour and 20 minutes to Washington, DC. In our historical small town, we are really pleased to welcome all of our students to this part of South Central Pennsylvania. Our students actually do hail from 40 states and 40 countries. So while it may be nearby for you, it's really a conglomeration of a community for us. And because of the location nearby to metropolitan areas as well, we do have the opportunity for those students to take advantage of transportation hubs, but also for all students to take advantage of internships, also field trips, all different types of things that would support their academic experiences. With very much a residential college community ourselves, we do see students coming here to be active. I would say overall, our students really enjoy the balance of having great academics as well as the opportunities to take part in their activities. And so we really see that as part of our overall community environment. Students living on campus, about 94% of them as part of our community, have the opportunity to interact with one another, not only in the classrooms, but also whether it's going to be on the playing fields and their clubs and activities or within the local community. We offer 120 different clubs and organizations, so things that you've perhaps previously done, as well as maybe new activities. In terms of athletics, we are a Division III school participating in the Centennial Conference. So lots of great opportunities to get involved and be part of a really robust community of students who are eager to get to know one another, to be active with clubs, and also to get to know the local Gettysburg area. In terms of our academics, you will find that we have a rigorous interdisciplinary program with the liberal arts and sciences, 65 different majors, minors, and academic programs. And if you're thinking about what are some of the more popular majors, you're going to see political science, economics, health studies, as well as business, history, and psychology. For those students interested in the sciences, I definitely want to highlight our collaborative research, very much the experiential opportunities to work with our faculty members. And you're really going to see those connections with faculty members across disciplines. With a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio, 17 on average classroom size, your voices will be heard and you'll be able to make those connections with your professors. And that's all going to lead to great advising and opportunities for you to think about what are those areas that you do want to explore. Students have up until the end of the second year before they need to declare a major. And actually 23% of our students will actually double major. So you've got opportunities to explore a wide variety of areas. Gettysburg does have an honor code, and I think that speaks really to the ties and the trust and the relationships overall that our students are able to form with their faculty members. And now here at Gettysburg, we do also see students interested in those study abroad opportunities, and we have about 100 different affiliate programs that are available to our students, and 60% of them are going to take advantage typically of one of the semester programs. So whether you're really connected to the local Gettysburg community, if you're thinking more globally, we've got opportunities for students to really focus on their studies, but think beyond and kind of consider what those next steps after college may be. We offer some distinctive programs, including the Eisenhower Institute, which is a public policy institute with an office here on Gettysburg's campus, but also in Washington, D.C., just a couple of blocks away from the White House. So a wonderful opportunity for students who are civically minded to get involved. For students who are interested in music, we have our Sunderman Conservatory, which is outstanding for those who wish to pursue an academic discipline with that. But also if you enjoy music and you want to continue, there are wonderful opportunities. In fact, about 1 in 7 of our students are in some way involved with the conservatory activities. Beyond that, we have an amazing Center for Public Service that helps connect students, again, who are interested in the local community with nonprofits and other organizations, and our Garthwaite Leadership Center that works with students individually as well as with different student groups and teams on the campus. Now, we recognize that at some point you will graduate, and so we want to be able to help prepare you in the best ways that we can, not only through the classroom, but through the other opportunities as well. So we are thinking, of course, of those next steps, and through our Center for Career Engagement, we do see that students are able to have preparation and are successful 98% then within the 1 year being employed or enrolled in a graduate program. And we're very pleased that they're able to find that support through an amazing network of alumni and some current parents who are part of our overall network. Academic programs and admissions are listed here on the screen. You're going to see that we are a common application school, have been test optional for about 15 years, and we do strongly encourage interviews, both in person and virtual. Financial aid, both need-based and merit scholarship. We do ask for the FAFSA and CSS profile, and then for the merit scholarships, you're considered during the review process with separate applications requested for the Eisenhower STEM and music scholarships. On behalf of my colleagues here at Gettysburg College, especially those of us who work with students in the Mid-Atlantic, we hope that you'll continue exploring Gettysburg and do reach out to us with any questions that you may have.
All right, and our next presenter is from the University of Richmond.
Hi, I'm Erica Riesbeck, and I'm really happy to be here this evening. The University of Richmond focuses on the undergraduate experience, along with many of the benefits found at larger research universities. We incorporate the traditional liberal arts and science curriculum, but with the added benefit of undergraduate schools and business and leadership studies. And our overall class size is around an average of 17, and the overall undergraduate population is only 3,200. So we're in a suburban location about 6 miles away from the city center and capital city of Virginia in Richmond. And only about 18% of our students hail from the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the rest are out of state or out of country. The University of Richmond also includes Division I athletics, guaranteed funding for summer research or internships, and the financial ability to meet 100% of demonstrated need for all students. Because of this focus on the liberal arts and sciences, like some of my colleagues have said, there's a lot of academic freedom and flexibility to really pursue more than one major, more than one track. And I think it's one of the biggest reasons that a student might choose a liberal arts and science university and choose a school like the University of Richmond. We have our students declare their majors and minors during the second year. So it's not unusual to declare more than a major. And in fact, about 2/3 of students will choose from 100 different majors and minors and choose to have more than a major. So whether that's a double major, a major and a minor, double major, double minor, we really want students to have fun with it. Our top 5 most popular majors this past year were business administration, biology, leadership studies, accounting, and psychology. As I mentioned, our student population is small, so with only 3,200 students, you really are going to feel a part of the community. And the class size average is only 16, and 99% of your classes are going to have 30 or fewer students. So you're able to develop these really important friendships with faculty, lasting relationships that will help you out later on. Most of our students also live on campus. 90% live on campus all 4 years. And so that research and those connections with your faculty are going to benefit you as you rely on them, professors, to write recommendation letters for graduate schools, or even just having professors help with finding that important summer internship or job post-graduation. This slide is related to our incoming class, our first year incoming class, so the class of 2025. So we saw one of our largest classes, 890 students. 29% of this class are US students of color and 11% are international students. We believe that having a diverse campus is important for our success, for our students' success, and we work to create an environment that is welcoming and where you can find your sense of belonging. In our admission process, we're also very conscious of being a school that meets 100% of demonstrated need, as well as being need blind in our admission process for US cits and US permanent residents. Richmond is also fortunate to offer merit scholarships, and those are up to the full cost of tuition, room, and meals. One of our signature programs is the Richmond Guarantee. This is where we promise to help you in the summertime with finding amazing possibilities for whether it's work, maybe an underpaid or unpaid summer internship, or professor mentored summer research. We guarantee up to $5,000 in funding. You really get to choose what you do, where you want to go, how you want to use that. And we want to really support students in their pursuit of their passions. 89% of the last graduating class participated in an internship during their time at Richmond. I would describe Richmond students and spiders, as we are called, as being pretty curious and ambitious. They want to try everything while they're here. And so we see 67% of students going abroad, and that could include studying abroad, but also working abroad, volunteering, or conducting research abroad through the Richmond Guarantee. About 80% of our professors' research projects employ our students, our undergraduate students, because that is our focus. And then upon graduation, when our students do leave us, approximately 20 to 25% will pursue another degree at graduation. And graduate programs like master's or PhDs in a variety of areas to business, medicine, and law are all very popular. And for those students that are jumping right into the workforce, we see 96% of those students employed within 6 months. I hope you will take the time to visit the University of Richmond. We are open Monday through Friday, as well as some select Saturdays. And of course, if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Erica. So that concludes the presentation portion of our session today. We're now going to transition to the Q&A. I want to encourage all of our presenters to return. Feel free to turn on your camera and I will pose a question to the group. Our presenters will respond to the question in the order in which they presented. So the question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? We'll start with Adam.
Yeah, I think you're all here doing the first step, which is just like take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you, and if at all possible, visit a school, even if, and especially something that's close to home, even if you're not sure that you would want to attend ultimately that institution, go and visit, find out a little bit about it, and that might spark for you what you should be thinking about when it comes to actually making your college decision.
And Danielle, you're welcome to respond.
Okay. Yeah, I would say definitely visiting colleges. Definitely visit if you can. Sometimes I think it helps to get like a good feeling if you can actually like envision yourself at that school.
I guess I would say my piece of advice would be have fun with this. You know, there's a lot of pressure through this process, but don't let the pressure get the better of you. I promise you that there is a school out there that is the right fit for you. There are thousands of colleges, not just the 6 of us to choose from. So have fun with it, get out there, see schools, and find what your passion may be. There's definitely a place for you to call home.
I think that I am next. I kind of want to build off of what Erin said. Make it fun. Don't let anybody pressure you into making a certain decision. Try to find what you are happy with. Don't try to make your decision based off of other people's opinions. It's going to be you that's there, you that's experiencing these things. So do what you want to do and find what you love.
I have to admit I'm biased because I'm one of the folks that organizes the campus visits. So I always want you to be able to come and visit our campus. But I also know that there are some tremendous virtual opportunities out there. So many of us have stockpiled libraries of programs. And so I encourage you to take advantage of looking at some of those that may allow you to look at some specific topics. Also, please contact us. We are your regional representatives. We are friendly and not scary, I promise. And so please reach out to us when you do have questions about our individual institutions.
Staying organized is going to help you as well, particularly when you get into the part of the process where you're applying. But I would say most important is to really have patience and grace with one another, your family members. You're going through this together. It's going to be stressful, but supporting each other every step of the way will help it be a little less stressful, maybe a little less scary. So partnering that with the having fun is what I would recommend.
Thank you. Our final question, and again, we'll start with Adam. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
Yeah, so Macalester, I think the one thing to remember is that we are unique as a small liberal arts college in a large metropolitan area. So best of both worlds in that you have the small, tight-knit community on campus, but then access to this massive city and all that comes with it around it.
For the University of New Haven, I would say that, when you're taking classes here, everything's going to really pertain to your major. So you're getting experiential learning, so hands-on experience, but also very much focused on your actual major.
I would want you to remember that Xavier is home to a lot of wonderfully engaged students and has a real true sense of a family community. I think that's part of the Jesuit commitment to giving back and being men and women for and with others. And so I would just want you to want to be part of a very active campus community.
I think BSC, we boast it a lot, we talk about it a lot, but it truly is our campus community that makes us special. We are a small school with 1,200 in our student body. You get to know your peers. Do you want to help the people here? You want to be involved? You want to support your friends? You want to be as much a part of the community as you can, and you have a great support system through faculty, staff, and just your fellow students as well.
I think at Gettysburg, when we think about who we are as a community, we can't separate our history from the institution, and we're very proud of our local history and our place in the world. But I think one of the things that we consider for our students is we want them to recognize how they themselves are change makers and how the experience that they have here, part of the Gettysburg history, part of the fabric of the institution, is going to take them and take us forward.
And besides being the only spider mascot in the country, I also want you to remember that Richmond is really a place that supports you every step of the way, whether it's that Richmond Guarantee for funding for the summer experiences, whether it's going abroad and we provide passport fees for you or spending money. We want to make sure that our students really get the full university experience, no matter what financial situation they're coming from, that they will be supported to pursue those dreams is really important to us.
All right, well, thank you all for responding to the Q&A. We are approaching the end of our time together, but I do have a few closing announcements. As you exit from the Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 5 questions or so, but please complete the survey. It's extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings in the future. I also want to remind you to sign up for additional sessions by visiting our registration site. And finally, you can access this recording by visiting strivescan.com/AIMS. With all that said, I want to go ahead and thank our presenters for joining me, but also thank you to all of our attendees. I hope everyone has a great evening. Thank you.